his whole first album, which is off of a persona that he did for years called Pink Eye. Mm-hmm. It's called the Pink Album. It's funny because there's a lot of just dumb songs on there, but they're all like, you can tell a lot of effort was put into them. And you're like, okay, like some of these are actually pretty good songs.
They're really polished shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. But like you can tell
here's
someone.
Here's a poo, but I'm gonna shine it.
It was polished very well. And like you could tell it was good. And then so when he finally came out. Yeah. But when he finally came out with his own actual album, it was just like, it was really good. Are we good? We're on?
Not that it doesn't.
We're live. Oh shit, we're live?
We're live.
Are you listening to us live?
Did you see about that girl that got ran over doing a live news broadcast?
No, no, Cameron, no.
I saw it on like those Snapchat, news article things that they always kick up. She was just like, "Yeah, I'm here. It's snowing, and oh, I'm getting hit by a car."
Wait, she said, "I'm getting hit by a car."
Getting hit by a car.
You must not be getting hit that hard if you're able to say, "I am getting hit by a car."
She popped up like 5 seconds later. It was like, "I'm okay." She was definitely shaken up, but it was like,
jeez,
kind of funny.
No, I mean, it's funny if no one gets hurt. Yeah, that's immediately funny. You can laugh
or
at that.
It's funny if someone who deserves to get hurt gets hurt.
Yes. There's like
she didn't deserve it, but
there's like a cosmic sense of like
even if
justice.
It's a hurt, but not permanent hurt.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's a quick
hurt,
injury.
Not injured.
Yeah.
Hurt,
good.
not injured.
Yes, good distinction.
See, that's how that's how I am with sports. Like I root for players to get hurt, not injured.
Yeah. Totally. Because that would also affect the spread too, and then you.
Well, there's that.
But no, that's a good point. I think also like as children, like playground insults or even if you like hit someone if you're like mad at them or whatever, I think that's the same intent as a child, right? I want to hurt them, but if you really thought about it, you're like, well, I don't want to like injure them. I don't want them to be like actually hurt, right? But sometimes obviously children don't understand that, so it's like sometimes they'll attack someone, hit them in the eye or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, or they get a bloody nose, and then the kid immediately realizes like, oh shit, like I've damaged this person like in a really bad way. Because it's hard to understand, as a child, like if you punch someone in the arm, it's hard to understand like how bad you've hurt that person, especially if you're just more strong than they are, if you're stronger than they are, or if you're just like the bigger kid, right? And you hit them and you're just like, oh, I just wanted to hurt you. But you're like, you hurt them way more than they could hurt you. But that's hard to see, right?
Right. Also, the other thing about kids and violence.
Yes. My favorite subject.
One of the things to add on to what you just said, though, is that part of what makes kids dangerous when they're trying to hurt somebody is what you were saying with punching them in the arm.
Yeah.
They don't think about that. They go right for the head. And so all the head injuries happen.
Yes.
They don't like whatever happened to kicking people in the shins? I don't understand.
Or just punching in the arm. Like when I was a kid, that was like
arm punch.
That's what you do, right? Like if you're playing the circle game, there's a game literally built around just punching people in the arm, which is like probably one of the best places to hit them because it's going to have the most muscle mass for the arm. And it's also going to be the least likely to like really injure them, like, they might get a bruise or a bit of a Charlie horse, but they'll be all right. Yeah. Those are good, clean, fun games, man. I'm just saying.
I used to play quarters. That shit was fun.
Yeah, well, quarters, I mean, that's obviously a bit more bloody, but if you're doing it right.
I don't know what quarters is.
Oh, it's definitely a wuss about
Explain quarters for those people who don't know.
Lay your knuckles down on the table, and then the other person flings a quarter at your knuckle, and you go back and forth until someone wusses out. And,
gotcha.
Yeah,
some people call it bloody knuckles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a brutal game.
See, I've always preferred red hand. Red hand is hold your hand out flat, slap their hand hard as you can. Then it's your turn to get slapped on the hand. Yeah. And you just go until somebody can't take a slap on the hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's some fun stuff.
I mean, same goal with bloody knuckles
there's less blood in red hand.
Yeah. True.
We played a variation of that, but we did rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, okay. We did rock, paper, scissors,
adds slap. Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
No. we just did the punishment being slap. right? So you get slapped in the hand, right?
Yeah.
And so you just
Left
play.
to right.
If you're winning a lot of rock paper scissors over and over again, you're fine. The other person is hurting, right? And you could just simulate, continuously. Again, you go until somebody gives up.
Yeah.
See,
oh my gosh.
What I did, and people never understood who played against me. Never understood. I was waiting for my hand to hurt to the point where it was numb.
Yeah.
Because then it didn't matter if you hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna feel it.
And then when I swing it, I literally can't feel it hit their hand.
Yeah.
So I can swing my arm as hard as I want.
Sure.
You sound like the quintessential like Linkin Park version of playing a game.
I become so numb. Yeah. I can't.
That's what I was waiting for. The numbness to kick in.
Yeah. You win when that happens. That's
I have won. Why? I
won.
feel nothing.
Nothing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
it's
Mike.
just like life.
It's just like life.
When you can become completely apathetic, that's when you know nothing can hurt you anymore. You're just
I
like,
win.
all right, I win. Yeah, it's great. Welcome to the Freeform Podcast. Today we have myself, Dallas. We got Tim, Zach, Gabby, and we have Cameron returning. First of
There it
the
is.
year, and it's the first one we've seen for a little while because you've got a new job.
Got the
And
new job.
Yeah.
I barely half the time I don't even know when I'm gonna get off work. It's like
what? Like
Yeah.
you just go to work and you're just like there until they say you can leave?
till I finish. That's
Oh, I see. So it's like a task oriented, like
pretty much.
interesting.
People show up, we got to see them, no matter how long it takes. And
Dang.
sometimes that's I'm out of the door at 6:30. Sometimes that's leaving at 8. But
Dang.
so it makes it kind of hard to come down and do a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. When we normally record. Yeah. It's a Saturday special, So,
Yeah.
Beautiful, nice,
Yeah.
springy Saturday. I don't think it's actually spring, but
No,
Still
it's
winter,
definitely
yeah.
not spring,
All
but
Cameron, it's still January.
I know I'm hoping for the rain.
it's like he's like, I'm pretty sure it's not
It
spring.
looks
but-
so spring. It's
Yeah.
It's a
I
false
heard
spring.
And it was like
Flowers are
65
out.
today, so
Yeah.
it was feeling spring as well.
Right.
it's like t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw on the way over here, had to be high school kids, going across the crosswalk in their PJs.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Why not?
And since COVID, man, like that.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
not surprised
There's no
anymore.
judgment.
The fact that they had masks on, I was like, okay, cool.
there you
All right.
Just wait until it's socially acceptable to be naked as long as you have a mask on. That's what I'm waiting
It's
for.
just about where you put the mask.
Yeah. You said I had to wear a mask. You never said where. So
I mean, never mind. Is that what they did in swingers clubs? During COVID, everybody just wears a mask still.
it's a good question.
I mean,
If you're a swinger, let us know.
Let us know if you had to wear a mask.
Did you have to wear a mask?
Or
And
did
where
they-
did you have to wear a mask?
See, if you're a swingers club, let us know.
Oh,
If you're a swingers club,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah.
We'd like to join.
No.
at least go visit.
We'd like to
We'd-
take a
yeah.
peek. We want to see what
Take
it's
a-
like.
Take a peek.
We just want to see. We just want to see what it's like. Just pop our head in the door and go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
All right.
that's cool. So that's where they wear the mask. Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's what we want to do.
On the back of their head for some reason.
Isn't that just a yarmulke?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
Jews, the original swingers,
No.
according to Gabby.
No.
I don't think that's where that was going.
I don't think
Pretty
that's what
sure
she
you
was
follow
saying.
the logic. That's where it goes. Okay, this is a simple train. All right, it's got one track. It just keeps on moving. All right, that's how we roll here. That's hilarious. I'm thinking of these clubs that are odd, right?
Okay.
Speaking of like a swingers
Yeah, yeah,
club,
yeah.
club or group, right?
Kind of.
And then I was thinking of like people that get together to do like odd things.
Sure.
So over this past, like during the winter, my girlfriends let me know about some people who do this thing, and it's like a hatchet throwing club.
Oh,
okay.
the Hatchet
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, but there's like
club?
I heard there's a place, but I think there's a club as well. I don't know. But maybe I'm just intersecting the two. But anyway, but yeah, they throw hatchets
Yeah.
Sure.
at like a target or wood.
Yeah,
or, I don't know,
it's a
whatever.
wooden target. Yeah.
Yeah, or like a log or something. And I was like, that's so cool. Like,
It's just kind of advanced darts.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is advanced darts, huh? But I don't know.
We went there for a bachelor party.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
They gave you
Did you throw at
the people? No.
at the groom?
No.
If you survive, you get married.
No.
Dodge a hatchet, you can dodge a ball.
You can dodge your ranch.
No, but one of the
Exactly.
things they said was the smaller hatchets have aluminum handles.
Oh.
So one of the things they said is wherever you're supposed to stay behind a line when you throw, stay behind that line and stay active, because the aluminum handles, if it doesn't sink into the target, when they hit the ground, they'll slide.
Oh.
So they'll come right back at you.
Jeez. Okay. How far is it to the target? Like, how far are you throwing it?
They had 3 different lines. I think one was
okay.
10 feet, 8 feet, and 6 feet.
Oh, okay.
Like 6 feet is like the bumpers for bowling.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
How big of hatchets did they have? Did they have any
They're like
large axes?
No. It's regular hatchets.
Right. I feel like the aerodynamics would be thrown off by a full axe. Like what you're talking about.
I think
With
it's
a
I think it's the same.
Really?
Yeah. The heavier the weight on the head, the longer the shaft that you'll need.
I guess that's true. I don't know.
I mean,
I just
they
see
sound
more.
like
I see more
heavier.
disaster with that.
Or they just have more heavier weighted handles.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen axe throwing. It's lumberjacks throwing.
Jeez.
Like
Yeah, like full
pretty
axes.
full axes. It's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Did you know there's professional rock skipping?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
It doesn't surprise me.
Like
But I
for
did not know that.
for like prize money? Like they
I know
They
it
compete?
gets televised.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
have
like there's like
tournaments.
commentators and
What?
like
So I would
yeah.
assume,
Yeah, I saw it on ESPN.
Yeah.
Like
3 probably.
Yeah.
It might have been 2.
I don't know. I
Racing.
don't look on the ESPN channel. I just saw somebody talking about it, and I was like, "That's
Yeah.
wow.
It's when you're scrolling through the ESPN channels,
Yeah.
you come across the craziest stuff.
This one dude's
Yeah.
name was Chuck. And I was like, "That's
He was born to
born
do
to do
this.
this."
Chuck.
Yeah, and he did it, and it was like 42 skips or something like
What?
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
wild.
Holy shit. What?
Yeah.
That's insane. 42 skips?
Yes.
I'm
Or it was like-
lucky
it was like at
if I
least
do
40.
two times. Actually, one time sometimes. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think my best is 2.
Yeah, it's tough.
Cameron's like, y'all
Cameron
insane. Come on.
disagrees.
You guys
Cameron
ever
disagrees.
I've-
chucked a bunch of rocks.
I was like, I
gotten
can
lucky
skip
a
pretty
couple times?
decent, I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
I can get like 6 or 7 usually. Pretty.
I was gonna say,
consistently.
in reality, probably my longest one is probably close to 5 or 6 or something. But I just feel like majority of the time, if I go to just skip even like a really nice, smooth, flat rock, I'm usually lucky if it skips like twice because I clearly don't have good technique. You know
I was
what I
gonna
mean?
say, like, I'm pretty decent. I can skip. Like, you just throw it fast enough and at a good angle. Like, you don't. It doesn't have to be a good
Anything
skipping
to
rock.
skip.
You can skip it. Like,
He's like, I pick up a 20-pound boulder, skip that shit across the lake.
no,
It's
I just
awesome.
mean like, I don't know.
I'll throw the hatchet
yeah,
and
we
see
would-
if the aluminum comes back.
We would go to the lake. We'd go to the lake and just throw rocks at the lake. You know.
Nice.
Or like
like a
when you
good
throw
afternoon.
a rock straight up and it like
Oh,
no
that's just
splash.
that's just a satisfying.
So
Yeah.
We'll make a
Oh, I
rock
see.
throw club.
Rock throwing club.
Rock throwing
You do.
club.
I
Oh
throw
my
rocks.
gosh.
I throw rocks.
And then we'll have different
places you could
sects
throw a rock.
of it, so that you have the rock throwing club at the lake, but then you also have like the rock throwing club where people just like throwing them down hills or like cliffs.
No,
you know?
no. They're just different chapters.
Oh, okay.
Different chapters of the same.
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Now,
different seasons of rock throwing.
Well, you're talking about throwing rocks down a hill. One of my favorite things to do is find like large rocks or boulders and dislodge them off of a
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
cliff
yeah.
and just watch
Oh,
them.
off a
Oh,
cliff.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cliff or hill. Like,
Well, I was
you
thinking
know.
I like to start landslides.
Yeah, kind of, no, yes. I mean, yes. In all reality, like if you did it exactly right and it kind of chain reaction and started a landslide, that would probably be like, wow, I did that perfectly.
So
I'm amazing.
I'm amazing. Like,
note to all ski parks: don't
yeah,
allow
I
doubts
will
anywhere
say,
near your snow.
yeah, I've never done it. It's always been usually during like spring or summer because you go out on hikes, and if you go to like a nice park or wherever where it has actual like hills or cliffs
Yeah.
or whatever. And then you just like, when you walk up to the edge, there's almost always some large, rock
That's been there for centuries.
Yes or no? Yes or no? I mean, depending on how big it is. And I remember when I was like a teenager, especially, it was so satisfying.
Humans
to
less
dislodge. To dislodge one of these large boulders that was probably 50 to 60 pounds and would be like half buried in dirt. And like sometimes you'd even have to get on the ground and use your feet to like, dislodge it. But it was so satisfying to dislodge it and then get up and like watch it, just head down the hill and just take out everything in its path.
Dallas goes to the park and brings the big, huge, like steel lever poles.
Yeah,
but just have like
just goes hunting for that perfect rock.
And and just
perfect boulder.
You just start leverage it. It's simple mathematics. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. It's something very satisfying about that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I got in trouble with it one time when I was a kid because we went to go see my aunt who lived down in the Bay Area, and the way that they, live, there's a lot of hills and, uneven plains of where people live. And so anyway, on the backside of her backyard, it just was a huge drop off down like a cliff that was probably, 20 to 30 feet high. It was pretty high up there. And then there was just like a backyard there, because someone's house was like on the other side.
You dropped a rock.
And I dislodged a few rocks. And it would like hit their fence. And I remember one time they came out, the person came out and was like, it was like yelling up at us. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
oh, sorry.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that, I guess. Like, I just wasn't even thinking like, right. I was just like, that's cool to dislodge it and then watch it hit the fence. And it made a loud noise. And it never like, it didn't like bust a hole through it or anything. It wasn't like obviously damaging it, but like clearly no one's going to like that. But anyway. It was fun. I was pretty good.
I like loud noise.
I do.
There's something satisfying about watching gravity work.
Yeah. It's it's in the physics,
Exactly.
It's everything is.
It's a basic truth.
We're getting real philosophical here.
Maybe Isaac Newton was just a big fan of watching things fall, and he wasn't. They talk about him getting clocked on the head by an apple. What if he was just at a distance watching apples fall?
Well, they say, I don't know if you've ever heard, they say that that's like the real story,
right?
But it's become like a colloquialism that like one day he was sitting under an apple tree and got hit in the head, and then like that night he thought of gravity.
I assume it's more along the lines of he was watching things fall and went, huh?
Yeah, he like got inspired likely from like an apple falling from a tree, but like it wasn't just like, oh, got hit in the head and was like, Eureka, right. It was a deeper process, obviously, but anyway. He was
chucking apples at people one day and noticed, the farther it goes down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the harder I throw it at people, the more I injure them.
Yeah.
Pain. If I throw it up and it drops down, it hurts somebody.
Yeah. Which is why gravity in Latin means pain. He just wanted to hurt people. He was just out for blood.
Out for pain.
Out for blood. He wanted to kill people. These are 100% true historic
Dallas's thoughts
tales.
And his,
So,
side moments.
Dallas, I looked up some strange clubs.
Oh, sweet.
I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah.
No, I'm nervous.
So one of the notable ones, I think, is the Bohemian Club. It's a male-only club that gathers once a year to camp on 2,700 acres they own in the Bohemian Grove Forest in Sonoma County, California. Nobody knows what they do, but it is said
that high class millionaire club?
Yeah. So it's said that some of the Manhattan Project was planned during this club's meeting. So notable members and guests, we've got some presidents on here.
Of course.
We've got Herbert Hoover,
Oof.
William Randolph Hearst, so that's a big name. Jack London.
Wow.
Donald Rumsfeld, Henry Kissinger, and Ronald Reagan.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you know what? That's the one with the big owl that they like do. Yeah, I've seen some YouTube stuff on this. Yes, I have heard of this one.
They dance for the big owl.
Yeah. Well, it's like that old. It's like the Harvard Club that like all like influential people almost end up being a part of called like Skull and Crossbones or something like that. It's called something like that. It's called like Bones and Skulls or something like that. But it's like literally a Harvard like club or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Another weird one is the Martin Baker Ejection Tie Club, and it's only for
what? That makes me imagine like he's shooting ties at people from his neck. He's just like gah ejection.
So it's only for pilots who've activated their Martin Baker ejection seats and lived to tell the tale.
Bruh.
That's kind of hype, though.
That's actually an awesome club to be a part of.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it's a lot of people just sharing PTSD stories, but
yeah. So the pilots receive a tie pin, a patch, certificate, and membership card to commemorate the event of their survival.
That sounds hardcore.
It's awesome, but at the same time, it just kind of sounds like therapy, really.
Yeah,
well,
100%.
Thus far, there are more than 6,000 registered members.
Nice.
I'm actually surprised there's even that many.
I mean,
and they all got a nice card for it.
They all got a nice
They
card.
got a nice tie.
Dying. They got a nice card.
They got a nice tie pin and a tie.
The luxuriant flowing hair club for scientists.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Is it like rare? Is it so? Are most scientists bald? Is that what that's trying to infer?
So you have to be a scientist. Let me see here. So 4 steps to membership: photo evidence of said luxuriant flowing hair.
Okay.
There's a strict below the clavicle rule.
Oh, so it's got to be long. Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing which hair clubs you want to join. Oh, they have subchapters, so you need to know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they have for flowing facial hair, formerly flowing hair.
Dang.
For
That's
science
the sad
journalists.
Formerly yeah, so you're
That's just
bald
being
now?
bald, yeah,
I
right.
used to have nice hair.
Yeah.
So you're just reminded constantly that
Photo
you're like
evidence.
bald and ugly now? That's great.
Shows up as
Science
depressed.
journalists.
Wow.
And then there's more. Anything that legitimizes your scientific credentials. And a pithy statement about why you belong.
Dude, I was just thinking Alina could join that.
Yeah.
She could totally join that.
Yeah.
She's got some nice flowing hair. She's
Yeah.
obviously a scientist.
I think she'd want to join the chapter that is the hair on top of the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And maybe one day, if I become a scientist, I can join the beard.
I mean, you're close.
I'm getting there. I'm not there yet.
You're almost below
Yeah.
the clavicle.
Take over.
And then I could rule the club with an iron fist
Yeah.
and an iron beard.
There's Project Steve.
I
What?
assume
Love
that's
Steve.
just all Steves.
So it's a science.
Oh, this is like a joke thing, right?
So yeah, if it's still for scientists,
Oh, it's for scientists.
and your name is Steve.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's some bullshit. Dude, no, I heard about this guy.
So
join the Steve
you need
Club.
to
who did a
you
Steve
need to have a
Club.
PH.
Oh,
so
you
you-
have to have.
PhD.
Oh, wow.
You have to have a PhD.
No, you have to have a balance of either
I was
acidic
like,
or
wait,
basic.
hang on.
You must have a pH balance.
If you are a Stephanie, you're also welcome. So
Oh,
It's-
they're already breaking their own rules. I no longer am interested in
What
this club.
Stephanie
But
do you
there's
know goes by the nickname of Steve?
well, I don't know.
that's so weird. No, but I was gonna say there's that
Not a
story.
Stevens can go too.
Yeah,
No.
that's a good
Probably.
question.
Stevens are okay as well. Yeah.
See, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, that's
I know.
That's not true.
There was a story of a
That's not
guy on Facebook who created a group, and he literally just invited like
Oh,
all
yeah.
the guys named Steve.
It wasn't
Right.
Steve.
It wasn't Steve. It
It
was
was Jonathan or something like that. But I know what you're talking about.
Oh, so
it was like an
wasn't Steve.
event. Yeah,
Oh.
and they all
They
met up and
And then they like meet
in
up.
person.
Yeah,
It wasn't
and there was like a
Steve.
whole.
it was
Yeah.
like
and it was
Mike
like
or something.
No.
yeah, and it was like literally. I want to say it was like over. It was
There
like a
were,
couple
like,
thousand
a few
people.
thousand people,
Yeah, like
yeah.
they actually all like got together and
And then
you're
a
like,
kid won. It
yeah, it was
awesome.
like the best
Yeah.
of those
But
people, the Steves
the
or whatever.
like superior,
The most
something.
Steve, yeah,
I forget the name.
that which is pretty cool.
The rickest Rick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're like the Rickest Rick before there was a Rickest Rick. You know, it's like
Turn myself
it's really
into
cool.
a pickle, Morty.
So
I'm the picklest Rick.
this one's great. The Not Terribly Good Club was a club started in the late 70s by a British journalist, Stephen Pyle.
Another Steve.
Yep.
With a last name like Pyle, he probably got made fun of a lot.
Probably.
Yeah.
To be in the club, you just had to be not terribly good at things.
Oh heck yeah! dude.
So
and
everyone.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
now here's the thing. So you had to, at the meetings, tell the story, like tell people what you weren't good at. That was part of it. So, but nobody caught on to the fact that this is a journalist doing this. So he compiled it later in 2011, The Ultimate Book of Heroic Failures.
Wow.
And
what a bastard.
Well, but
that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Here's the best part. So, it had to disband.
It had to?
Well, because the membership surged, making the club successful.
So it trounced itself.
By becoming successful, it ruined itself.
Ruined the purpose of what it was aiming for. And so therefore, by association, you were successful.
Right.
Interesting. So does that mean you couldn't be successful at anything?
Yeah. You weren't terribly good at anything.
You're like, there's nothing that I'm very good at.
Yeah.
I have no particular talents.
Yeah.
That makes me special.
But inherently, wouldn't that make you very good at not being very good at things?
I mean, technically, yeah.
Which is why they ended up succeeding.
This is
interesting, yeah. Yeah, so that book thing is a little bit of a dick move if he didn't tell them.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I mean, I'm sure he did.
But if he did, then I guess they're just like, yeah.
He's British. I'm sure he planned everything out and got consent.
He could have just kept anonymity.
And he probably gave him.
I guess as long as you, because aren't there therapists who write books, and as long as they keep the person's anonymity, like they'll give them a name.
I'm writing a case study right now on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. So as long as you keep anonymity, it's
so I had to get permission from the couple. Like, hey, can I use the interventions and the trajectory of this story in therapy that we've done with you guys? And they were like, yeah, but it's not their name, not their age. Their gender because it's a husband and wife, but
right.
That's it. So there's nothing. It can't be anything. That if you're truly keeping confidentiality,
right? It
cannot be anything that would tie this story to these people.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
If they want to be, if they're like, no, I want you to use my name. I'm fine with it. I want to be in it. Then awesome. But if they're yeah, you can use the results, but don't let anybody know it was me.
Right.
Then,
yeah,
that's just what it is.
I've just heard about that before. And so I was wondering what's, I guess the legality.
Yeah. Or sometimes there's if there's they'll do first initials or something, so it'd be S, whatever.
Gotcha.
But even that is a little finicky, just kind of depending.
Because you're anyone with the first initial S, now I have.
Yeah, if there's the wife is S and the husband's M, and it's
right,
and the yeah.
No, I totally see that because that could lead back. But if they use a total different name, like Mark and Sarah, you know. That's interesting.
We got another English society that actually sounds badass.
Okay.
It's the 20-Minute Society.
Why does that sound badass, Tim?
So it started. First it started at a university, so it's going to be fun.
Okay.
So every 2 to 3 weeks, the members receive a text at a random time that just has a location, and you have to be there within 20 minutes.
If you're not, I assume you're out of the club.
I mean, so
what if you're on vacation?
So it's also sometimes it's pubs, ice skating, other activities.
Yeah.
Also holds an annual formal event and has a drawing for a mystery vacation once a year.
What if you're on the mystery vacation and then they're Ninth Street, 20 minutes?
Well, I assume you'd have.
It's more of you're not at the club. You just don't get to participate at that event if you're not there within 20 minutes.
Right. Oh. Or you get publicly shamed the next time you actually do show up.
Look who showed up.
And they just ring a bell and go, shame. Shame.
Walk around with them.
Yeah, that's all they do. They just walk around and go, shame. And everyone looks at you and they're like, what the hell's going on?
I found
he was late.
He was late.
The Facebook group was the Joshes.
Oh, that's it.
And then he was a superior Josh.
They had a Josh fight.
Yeah.
That ended up raising $15,000 for charity
at
the event.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
A Josh who was an owner of a winery. His name is Josh Sellers.
Oh, yeah.
That wins.
Is that the one that has the Josh wine?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but he
Well, there is a
tripled.
wine it's called Josh, but the guy who makes it, he named it after his father.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe
I don't
he's
know.
Josh Seller Jr.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway.
But this guy, I mean, he donated $30,000 to basically bring it up, to
Shit.
triple the amount originally.
Wow.
But yeah, no. And then, so it turned out the winner was little Josh, who is a 2-year-old that was there. And he was declared the overall winner of the event and was crowned with a paper coronet.
Yeah.
From Burger King.
Yeah.
Love it.
An honor worthy of its title.
Yeah.
It sounds to me a little bit.
This kid peaked at age 2.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, but I don't want to be that guy, but I guess I'm gonna be that kind of copped out, and they were just like, oh, let's make the young kid be the best of us. Oh yeah,
Well,
you know,
Like the youngest
specifically.
yeah, like
And I'm sure this
he was
got
the
brought
youngest
out.
one.
He had been treated for seizures when he was 2 years old.
Oh,
And he was declared.
See, I knew
so he wasn't 2 at the time.
So
He
to
was-
Make a Wish.
He was 5.
Sounds like.
He was 5 at the time, but he had been treated for seizures when he was 2. And so I
see,
think something like that comes out.
I knew, of course,
the
something like
dopest
that was going to come out, and,
And
like,
then-
Dallas is a dick for saying that this kid.
They raised
I knew it.
$50,000 for Children's Hospital.
So there's more of a back.
So there's a little
okay.
bit-
This is the dopest 5-year-old alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
No, I think the dopest 5-year-old alive was the kid who did go through Make-A-Wish, and he got to be Batman in the city of like San Francisco or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
That's
that.
awesome.
That was like the dopest kid ever. Did you ever hear about that?
No, I didn't.
No.
Oh, it was like the
Yeah,
coolest
I saw
thing.
that.
There's video on it. You can totally look it up. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's called like Kid Batman
I love
or
that.
Batman as a kid. And for the day, like he got to literally drive around in the
Yes.
Batmobile with not Christian Bale, but like the mayor or something, and he was dressed as Batman,
I love it.
and the kid was dressed as Batman or whatever, and they drove around. They had like a parade for him, and it was like a whole big crazy thing, and it
Yeah.
was like that
That's
kid's
awesome.
that's incredible. Yeah, so
That's
anyway.
cool.
What?
Yeah,
Just-
he's
just cool stuff.
That kid can die now.
Cameron.
Well,
Okay. This was
I
in-
don't
I'm really
know.
quickly-
I don't.
really
Just
quickly.
by the way,
Really quickly. This was in 2013. As of 2018, he is 10 years old and considered cancer-free.
Shut up, Cameron.
wait, but it's 2022.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't
But
think.
he's got no cancer now, so he's fine.
I just don't think there. I don't know if there's much more about him like that I see. There's just one article.
That usually.
More-
Dallas, there's less to kill him now that he doesn't have cancer.
But now we're in a pandemic.
Cancer comes back, and all I'm saying is, usually when you stop finding history about people, there's a reason.
is
Yeah, it's
that
called a
kid
website, not a
still
That's what that
alive
means.
in
I'm
the
just
21?
saying, you know,
It's not 2021. It's 2022.
we don't have any more history of JFK. There's a reason. That's
Yeah,
all
well,
I'm
I
saying.
mean, we kind of have video evidence.
Why
of
nobody
why
talk
we're not
about
gonna-
Lincoln anymore?
Yeah,
Actually, ironically, we can't stop talking about those two people.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
yeah, I don't know, but
I
no,
have
that's interesting. Well, good.
I have
good
a
for
club for you, Dallas.
Oh yes, I'm
I
interested.
think you will do this
Okay,
if you have the
Bourbons
opportunity.
are us.
No, it's called the 300 Club.
that's already a club, Gabby. It's called AA.
Yeah.
I've not joined that one yet, but
So
Will.
the 300 Club, you only have to do one thing. You have to do two things. I don't know. It doesn't say how long, but you have to sit in the sauna at the Munson Scott South Pole station.
in the South Pole.
Yeah. And then with your shoes on, you must streak around the ceremonial South Pole.
Wait, like the whole South Pole? What is
No, the
it?
ceremonial. Like
like how big is it? Oh, it's just literally a pole.
It's a pole.
Oh,
They're like, that's
okay,
the South
gotcha.
Pole, haha.
Yeah,
I was like,
you have to
oh.
go run out of the sauna
Yeah, freezing.
with shoes.
with
hey.
shoes.
At least you get shoes.
Right. That's
Uh-huh.
actually big. Yeah.
No, that's huge.
covering.
Not having shoes would be worse.
The quote
way worse.
is
Exactly.
the quote is
Gotta be so
priceless.
cold.
One participant said it felt like, quote, somebody was hitting me with a tennis racket full of needles.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a great metaphor.
Dude, yes. Well, I want to join, and yes, I want to try that. But I was going to say, I've kind of felt that, and I think pretty much everyone has. Have you ever, like, when it's winter, obviously, gone to a hot tub and then jumped into like a pool afterward and then gotten back out really quickly and then jumped back into the hot tub, it feels like your body is being, just penetrated with needles all over it.
Your body.
Well, I imagine this is that, but just like times 5. Like,
oh yeah, it's got to be way worse.
Because it can get. They did say it can get to around minus 100 Fahrenheit.
Fuck! How are you not like instantly dead? Like I just feel like you'd freeze immediately.
Fingers would fall off instantly.
Well, you'd have icicles immediately like building.
You're in a sauna, not a hot.
There are other things other than fingers.
Oh right. Well, you're still gonna be wet.
Well, yeah,
you're gonna be sweating.
Yeah.
But I'm saying icicles immediately would be forming on you.
Real question.
Especially
how
my
far
beard.
is the run? Is it
That's
like 2
the real
seconds?
question.
Is it like 2 minutes?
You got to look
It
this up.
It doesn't have.
It doesn't say the
That's the real
distance.
question.
Google
If it's like outside down the end of the street and back, it's like that's one thing.
Right. I'm
If it's
imagining.
like-
I'm
Let's
imagining
find
it's
out
not very
here.
far because and this is actually at the South Pole, or this is where,
it's at the South Pole Station. Yeah.
so it is in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been to Finland, and for those of you guys who don't know, they invented saunas. It literally comes from, it's a Finnish word. It's like, they say it like sauna. Anyway, they have a whole thing where during the winter, I wasn't there during the winter, so I didn't get to experience this part, but they have a thing during the winter where they'll be in the sauna, and yes, you jump out and you go jump in like a cold water place, or you literally like kind of, because saunas are traditionally gone into just totally nude. And so you'll like run out into like the snow and like maybe even do like a snow angel really quick and then run back in. But it's not like an endurance thing. It's not like you're not running like, run 100 yards and do this thing and whatever. It's more like literally just run out the door like probably 10 feet and like do this thing and then come right back in, and it's kind of fun and exhilarating.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how far away is...
I'm imagining with that extreme of temperatures and stuff, it can't be that far.
What do you think?
I don't know what I'm looking at. That's the South Pole.
That's the
What
South
am I
Pole.
looking
That's
at?
The building
What is
is
this?
what you're running out of.
I know, but there's like nothing to use for like...
I know. There's no way
There's no
there's no reference
comparison.
point?
There's no comparative objects. I'm like, I don't know how far
can
that
I
is.
see
It's
it?
just in the snow outside. I'm like, I don't...
It's just white. You're like,
yeah,
what?
it is.
You're
It's
like,
just
this
like
is a
there's the
picture
South Pole,
of a...
here's some flags, and here's a building. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I see.
Here, let me see.
I don't know. I don't know how far that is.
Okay, so for those of you guys listening, it's literally a pole like you would imagine, kind of like a barbershop pole. So it's like got red and white,
Has like an
the
orb on
swirls.
top.
Has this like mystical looking orb on the top.
Yeah.
And
Strip on
it's
the-
surrounded by flags of different nations because Antarctica
And
is
who
not
knows how
supposed to
big
be
they are? Yeah.
owned by anyone. I am guessing based on the way these buildings are. I mean,
It's
obviously
like
this
100 yards, maybe.
is a rough estimate. No. I don't even think it's 100
No, I
yards.
mean around it. And then
like
back.
there and back.
Oh,
I
around
wouldn't even
there.
say actually this is 50 yards. My guess is maybe 20 out, and then so back would be like 40 total, maybe. I mean, I could actually
40,
even see,
50 feet round trip.
yeah, I could see it being even less than that. Yeah, but yeah, so this is not that crazy, but in those temperatures, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because to even run out, I don't know, 10 feet when it's negative 100. And you just went from
200 degrees.
I was gonna say, or like,
whatever it is in a sauna.
I don't know what saunas are normally set at, like 100. I don't know.
I mean, at minus 100, all the moisture on your body would instantly freeze.
Yeah, I don't. It's really not that long. Like
It's not that long.
You're-
It really is not that far. That's the whole point of
Okay.
it. So
It's like-
it's not crazy.
It's like my brother told me when he was in school at Fairbanks
In Alaska.
It's in Alaska. It's tradition for students to at least once, or maybe it was freshmen or something, but it's tradition to they have a big right at the front of the school. They have a big, basically digital sign that like shows you the temperature, and it's tradition to get a picture in your underwear at negative 40.
Dang.
And so, and they're like, they like did it, and it was fine, and it wasn't like
everyone's
and
profile
it's a
picture.
little bit different because you're not going from hot to cold. But I
Right.
still think like, especially if you're running, for one, your body is moving, generating its own heat for that period of time.
It's true.
Right?
Good point.
It will be cold and it will suck, but I don't think you're gonna die. Right?
No, I
think-
mean, well, I don't think they would do it if people were just
Yeah,
dropping off.
yeah.
Like, They'd be like, guys, we need to stop doing this.
The other
it's very expensive. We're losing all these valuable, researchers and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I also think there's a big difference between doing that and jumping into Arctic water. Like, there's a big difference between those two things.
Well, apparently, so this is just like extremes of temperature, because obviously this whole time we've been talking about Fahrenheit, the superior temperature grade, obviously.
Yeah. Sure, the one that makes the most sense, yeah.
The one that makes the most sense because it's the most arbitrary. That's why we like it. Anyway, the point is that the weird thing about body temperatures, right? Because, normal human internal temperature is somewhere around 98 degrees, right?
Sure.
And actually, like, researchers now have said, like, that apparently it's a little bit cooler than what they used to think it was. They used to think it was like the 98.6.
Sure.
But apparently it's actually probably closer to like just below 98 or something like that. Me personally, I'm usually right around 97 degrees. Yeah. Just a fun fact.
Usually like 98.4.
Yeah. It's just, people, it varies a little more than what they think. Anyway, the point is that.
What do you mean? 96. We're not all the same? That's strange.
I'm usually like 96.7 or something.
Wow. Really low. Yeah.
Yeah. I also just have like a lower heart rate. So that's just also part of it.
Right. So. And lack of iron.
Yeah, bad circulation, no iron, slow
the daily
heart.
struggle.
Well, if your heart would speed up, maybe your circulation would be better.
Tim, I think about that too. The funny thing, Tim, is
you could get daily transfusions. That'd be great. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that extremes of temperature are very strange. So, like, when you think of like what's too hot or like what's too cold, right? And like typical temperature for like a hot tub is like 114 degrees, right? So it's hot, but it's not that hot, much hotter than like your internal temperature.
Right. Your body can adapt to it.
Right. Apparently, like thermoshockingly cold water, like a lot of people are probably thinking like, just above freezing or whatever. It's just 60 degrees. Yeah. Like if it's like 60 or 65 degrees, that's enough to make your body go like, it's fucking cold, and you like start shaking uncontrollably, and you like can't breathe, and you probably need to get out of it very fast.
I mean, anyone who's had a younger or older sibling who isn't as awesome as they are knows this, because when you get in the pool and you're playing around in the pool and they get blue in the face, and have to get out, and you're like, the water's fine.
Yeah, you know
it's actually. It's too cold for them, but it's right on the edge for you.
What you know at that point is that if they were born, you guys were born during the Great Depression, they would be the sacrificed child, and
they'd be the ones. The one you leave in the field. For the.
Like we
can't
afford to feed all of you.
Yeah, the rain god.
Where's the one? Where's the one that turns blue in the water?
Wait, no. Here we go. Think about it real talk. I'd be the one left for the rain god.
I mean,
that'd be me, actually. Now that I think about it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, thank God we don't live there anymore. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the extremes of temperature, back to a fun topic, is it's not as extreme as you think it is. Like it very subtle temperature sometimes.
Specifically within water, usually.
Right, and that's the reason I think is pretty obvious, but it's just because, the transfer of heat is faster in water than it is in air. So like what is the same temperature, like 60 degrees outside, like right now where we live, it is literally like 65 degrees outside, and I think it's about the same here in my house.
If you were wet and it's cold, you are not getting warm unless you get dry.
But if you were in water that's 66 degrees, and it wasn't warmer out, meaning, it wasn't summer or whatever, you would start to freeze and you'd probably go into hypothermia.
Well, that's why even like if you're swimming in a pool and it's like pretty decent water, and then suddenly clouds come over and cover the sun, it gets cold real fast.
Yeah.
And it's not that the water necessarily changes temperature really fast,
right?
But your body doesn't get the assist for heat, right? Whereas you have the sun on you, so you get that assist of heat, and as soon as that sun goes away, now your body is left
Relying
on its
the
own
warmth of
to
the
try
water.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. But there's no warmth in the water, right?
Right.
Well, and there's
So-
also the like your body in water is having to like also burn extra calories to work to breathe because you're pushing water
Right.
around to breathe.
Right.
Like so, not only do you not have heat, you're also using up more energy versus just like standing still
Right.
outside.
Right. Like we don't think of like our entire like, system, like all the things that are going on. Like your body's pumping blood and
Yeah, and it's
breathing
like
and,
if your your rib cage has to expand and your
Right.
diaphragm has to move, that's going to take up space. And if you're in water, you have to move water around.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Well, I mean, I that it totally makes sense. Sorry, what were you saying, Cameron?
Oh, I was gonna say, don't you burn like something like 23 calories a minute or an hour or something?
I don't
I think it's like a
know.
minute. I want to know.
I don't know. But I was gonna say that's one of the reasons why aerobics in a
that.
pool or just swimming laps is like one of the greatest exercises for your body,
Right.
because
Yeah.
you're doing so many extra things.
Yep.
But it's also less of a stressor on your body.
Yeah.
Because you're essentially assisted. So
Well, it's like
Yes.
people in recovery, if their muscles have atrophied or they've gone into an injury and they need to like regain, muscle. Or I always like to think of the dog, like the videos of like dogs that are like too fat, so they put them in like in the water on the little treadmills. They also have little vests on, so they don't like they don't drown, but they like wanted to have more resistance if they can't move very well. So they're in the little water treadmills. They're funny.
I mean, if
I like
we're a
those.
society that has reached, I mean, we are.
Like this exists, Tim. I've seen many videos
I was
of the
gonna say-
dogs
I was
in the
gonna
little
say,
harnesses.
Yeah.
I've seen the dogs
No.
that are overweight in the little harnesses walking.
I mean, I've seen the dog ones and then I've seen the cat ones.
there is a cat one I've seen, but I can't
Um,
imagine they're happy.
But the fact that we have obese pets is just.
Yeah.
There's
it's
just-
absurd.
No. Not only do
It's
we have obese
absurd.
pets, we have solution for
Yeah.
obese.
Right.
Oh, you've
That
fattened
doesn't
your
involve eating
them too much
Yeah.
that it now has problems.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna eat it?
Here's a way to get it back to health.
That's why they put them in the little water.
Yeah, no, but that's
Oh,
one of the most
man.
absurd. This is like, I guess, a mini soapbox moment for me. I just find it. I have family members who've done this to their pets, and I just find it to be
Put
the
them in
most.
water treadmill.
No, not the.
No,
They
fed
haven't
them.
gotten to
He's
the
saying
health side of it.
He's
They've
saying
just
about obese.
they've just obesified their animal, and I just
I like that word. Use.
yeah, you like that?
I like that.
I'm just saying
Obesified.
it's the most absurd thing in the world because you control everything that your animal gets to eat. So like
I
it's
mean,
not
mostly.
I mean, yeah, unless it literally like is getting into trash or like doing something crazy. But the thing is, the ones that are usually the most obese are the smallest ones who literally are incapable of feeding themselves. So it blows my mind. It's just like, stop feeding them so much. It's so simple and so easy. Anyway, that's my mini, it blows my
Also,
mind.
and this is an unrelated point. Stop breeding small dogs with big dogs.
Stop breeding small dogs at all. They're all
Well,
rats,
that
and they
too.
all need to just be
Yeah.
eliminated. And let's just go back to normal dog side.
Yeah.
And if you want a
Medium and
reference for that-
large. Medium and large.
If you want a
those are
reference
fine.
for that, my normal reference is about 30 pounds or more. So if it doesn't, if naturally
I'm even
that
okay
dog,
with like 25. Is like.
I mean,
all
even
right.
I'm just saying, but even like a medium-sized dog, if it doesn't weigh like at least that, then it's not a dog.
friend of mine's
Oh.
sister, something like that. Anyways, they have a dog that I didn't know this was a thing. This dog fits in the palm of your hand, full grown.
Oh gosh,
It's
like a
one of the
teacup.
minis.
Like
yeah.
this is full
Didn't
grown.
Brittany have one of
Like I've seen minis.
It wasn't that small.
Like I think small, and I'm like, Chihuahua, or even a little bit smaller than Chihuahua. No, this thing fits in the palm of your hand, small, and it's still a dog somehow.
It's
And I
not.
don't- It's not, but
It's
I just
barely
feel
a
like
dog.
it's classified.
That's smaller than a
My
rat.
guinea pig is bigger than
I was
that.
gonna say rats could destroy that thing.
I
Like,
was like,
yeah,
oh my
Holy
gosh.
shit.
that's like a tiny
Your dog
field
could
mouse.
get eaten by a guinea pig like that.
If my guinea pig could take your dog, we have a problem.
There's a huge problem, and we're the ones who've done this. Evil.
We
thing.
live in a society.
We are living
Wow.
in a society, folks. But yeah, that's absurdity too. It's not good for the dog.
Yeah, no.
And just recently, I've been looking into dogs again. I won't get one anytime soon, but
They're nice to think about, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one I always
I did that
am
too.
kind of dreaming of. I've kind of dreamed about it for years. Is Irish Wolfhounds.
Oh, dude.
They're pretty incredible dogs. And I guess I was looking at their size ratios because they're one of the longest dogs because they're kind of like a bigger, beefier hound.
Yeah. Right.
And they can get to like 6 feet long. Like they're just very long, bigger, like that style of dog. Versus like I don't know, like a Malamute or something that's such like a wide and big, like bear-like dog. And the upper echelons for their size, they've been recorded to get as big as 180 pounds.
Jeez.
And I'm like,
That's a human.
That's a dog right there, dude. Like,
no,
and they were
that's on the other side of the spectrum where it's nearing like wolf territory.
Well,
not
they
in
were
a bad way.
Yeah,
Just like,
and they're wolfhounds, so they were literally trained and bred to combat wolves.
Right.
Like, it's
there was an Irish Wolfhound in the dog show a couple years ago. But she was on the big side for the breed already. And she had a genetic marker that was like not giant, but like larger than. And she was 170 pounds and like 7.5 feet from her nose to the base of her tail.
Dang.
Right. That's a dog that needs its own seat on an airplane.
I mean,
that's a dog that needs 2 seats.
She was big.
You ran out all three because it's you and the dog.
and you know how they have them, they show them, and then they do the like trot across the arena.
Right.
And they like check their nose and all that.
Right. So like they were doing the dogs and they were trotting across, and this at the Irish Wolfhound gets up, trots. It's like 3 strides.
Yeah.
She's like, through. All right, I'm past it.
Yeah.
It was like,
what do you want me to do now?
It was over.
Go back. Okay.
It was like. And I was like, that's not fair. Like she didn't have as much time to
You
prance.
have to work as hard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's always a trade-off, you know. And those larger dogs, their downside is, you know, shorter lifespan. But
I think it's always dumb when the ones that win are the little like
the little rats.
foo-foo dogs.
Yeah.
The rats with
and they have the
perms.
long hair and they
I call
like
'em.
waddle because they can't run.
Yeah. And I love the ones that are just like shaking all the time. Like they clearly cannot create their own body heat. They're like, normally they would be dead, but because of humans, we've like coddled them, you know? It's like Bill Burr said about his dog. He's like, the trainer told him, he's like, this is a dog that nature said no to, but humans said yes to. And it's just like, true. Like, you know, and there's many different versions of that, but because he was particularly talking about like an aggressive dog. But yeah, it's crazy what we've done to dogs. We should be put on, humanitarian crimes.
I think we know
court.
limit.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing about dogs. Like people get these dogs all the time. They'll live in like a super hot area and they'll get like these, you know, Malamute dogs or just like dogs that are meant to be.
Yeah. Zach's buddy has they're huskies, right?
He has a husky and then like
He's like a German shepherd.
it's like a shepherd. He doesn't look quite like a shepherd, but it's definitely like a shepherd
Mix.
It's a shepherd mix.
And it's like
Okay.
113 in the summer. I'm like, this poor
Right.
dog.
Yeah.
And they are not built for this environment, right? And so unless you can properly do that, but like, and temperature is one thing because there are obviously ways to combat that because we have these things called houses and air conditioning. So like, yes, there are ways that you can kind of get around it, right? I know.
Strange alien
Hot
things.
take here. Anyway, teaching has new facts. But I'm just saying that even besides temperature, right? Things like, you know, if I get that, like some people get like that huge, large dog, but then they like keep it in like an apartment, you know, or they don't even take the effort to like go and walk it all the time and do all the things that it needs to do or like that it's trained to do. And then they wonder why it like freaks out or has emotional problems and, you know, tears up their furniture when they leave and stuff. And you're like, well, you're not letting this dog do the thing that it's been literally trained and bred to do for hundreds, if not like thousands of years. And so it's like, what do you expect? Like, it blows my mind. And then they'll be like, yeah, we just don't know. It just has a lot of problems. And you're like, and then they take it away to like a shelter or something. Just like, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
How people
that's what
just don't do the proper pre-work, you know?
My buddy's, one of his dogs, the shepherd mix, we're thinking there was something that happened to it when it was a puppy because it freaks out around people, especially men. which is usually a telltale sign of abuse in some aspect.
Yeah.
But this dog, the reason he ended up with it is because his cousin got the dog and then just couldn't take care of it or treat it. They got the dog as we want to, have a family dog and let people come over and play with it. And they just couldn't handle basically teaching it or taking care of it to a way to, interact with humans.
Right.
And so Tony's like, all right, well, if I'm taking this dog, it's my dog. Like, you're not going to come back and ask it for it back. Like,
After I've trained it,
yeah.
So,
which is totally fair. And that's the thing that gets me.
I agree.
It's like, I feel like in almost every case I've ever heard of, there are some very rare cases where it's like, this is just the breed. Right.
Sure.
But still, you didn't do your research to know that that's what the breed is like known for.
Well, and that's part of it is just the breed is already high strung, right?
Right.
And then whatever it's mixed with as well.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason, especially, again, also Shepherd, very protectorate, right?
Yeah.
Very protective. So if anybody outside comes into your space, immediately that dog is on guard, right? And so you, as the owner, have to teach it to understand humans are not inherently evil, right?
Anything
a
that walks in the door
person versus a dangerous person.
You have
there's a difference
to
between
trick it into thinking that we're not all evil. Yeah.
Right.
Don't be aware that we're all
But there's a difference between, your owner inviting somebody in and somebody just approaching your house. Right. And so you have to teach the dog the difference between the two, right?
Sure.
If Tony lets me into his house, right, Ace still does, but shouldn't necessarily freak out when I walk in, right? And just go super aggro. Right. Instead, if I were to, just show up, if I was a stranger just showing up, then you can go aggro, right? There's a
Right.
And so you just have to teach the dog that, and he's getting better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I'm a big advocate for I think 90% of the time it's just the people who either gave it lack of training or had a lack of understanding of what type of dog they were getting.
Right.
And so most of the time I'm just like, yeah, it's just your fault, right?
Right.
Same thing I always blame when there's kids that are messed up. I'm like, yeah, it's probably the parents' fault. It's pretty obvious. But anyway, yeah, I just think, if you're going to get a dog, just do your research. It's not even that hard. It's so easy. If you just Google it, you can find article upon article upon, whatever type of dog you want. And you can quickly learn what they need and what you need to give them. And, but the problem is, people just want what they want. And so then the dog suffers, which sucks. But anyway.
Yep.
This morning, I live in an apartment complex and there's little grass areas in the middle for people who have, small dogs and stuff, because there's a weight limit and how big you can have. But I was going down to my car and then there was this one woman and she had this really pretty medium sized kind of fluffy dog, and this one guy walking past to go get his mail or whatever from the hub, and he stops and he's like, "Oh, that's a really pretty dog," and she's like, "Oh yeah, thanks." He's like, "What kind is it?" And it's really pretty, because I guess it was an Aussie with a German Shepherd, so it had German Shepherd
that does
colors,
sound pretty.
it was Aussie size and fluffy or whatever. And I was hearing that and I was like, "Ooh," because I looked too. I was like, "That's a really cute dog. What is it?" And I'm listening or whatever. And, she tells him, she's like, "Oh, he's an Aussie and a German Shepherd and something else. I'm not quite sure." And he goes, "Oh, well, at least it doesn't have an accent." And I was like, "What the hell?"
Wait, what?
Bro, and I kept walking. And then, because Zach was there, we were packing our car because we're heading out of town after this. And I look at Zach and I was like, we get in the car and I was like, "Did you hear what this fool just said?" And he was like, the accent line. I was like, "Yeah, what the hell was that?"
I couldn't tell if he was trying to be funny or...
But the way he said it, I was like...
How old was the guy? Did he look...
Adult.
Well, no, but was he a lot older than the lady?
No,
or
he was. She was probably
were,
the
same
early
age?
30s. He was probably early 40s.
So he was around the age, within 10 years.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I'm gonna label that as a failed pickup line.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I'm gonna label
was
it.
like-
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I've heard worse.
well, sure.
I don't understand the pickup though.
No, it
No,
wasn't a
he's
pickup,
trying.
it was more
It's
just
it's not okay. It's not.
to
Yes,
say
I
something.
It's
agree.
a conversation starter
Yes.
/ oh, ha ha ha.
It's
That's
Okay,
what he was
not-
real
going
quick.
for.
Yes.
Sidebar, real quick.
But
my gosh.
But the
Real quick.
intent.
Terrible.
Hang on. If that's what this is, what are you supposed to say in response?
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's bad.
There's
But
no
that's what I'm
opening.
saying. He was looking for a...
What do you do?
You know.
If somebody said
You
that
know
to
what
me-
you say? Oh yeah, I also hate the fucking Australians.
I mean,
Yeah, fuck them and the Germans.
So is that a
and
pi-
whatever else is mixed in there too? Yeah.
is that a bigamous like
Yeah.
invitation.
Is that
I
how you're
think
trying
so.
to bond? Is by being
Hey,
big?
hey, you want to hate people with me?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sounds like a good.
I
Your
also-
dog reminded
yeah,
me of
Yeah,
how
Yeah.
much I
she should have
hate
just
the
turned to him and been like,
Germans.
"I also hate people who are different than me." Yes,
I mean, it's a good basis for a relationship.
hell?
I think if you both
mean, I
hate the
guess
same people.
if you're
And
both
bond
that
over the
extremist, yes,
Yes.
because it's probably rare to find another extremist with you.
I
But
was-
then you'd also probably have to, I don't know, give
I was
away
just
that
thinking,
dog
I was
because
like,
it's
if
not
I was
American.
her-
Like,
If I was her and that was my dog, I'm like, I honestly don't know what I would say. Like, I just.
I think he was trying to be funny, and just
Yeah.
that's all it was. He was trying to be funny.
he's
was
trying to be
get-
affable, like he's
you know.
trying to be like relatable.
Okay.
That's why I'm labeling it as like pickup line because in and of itself, it's not a pickup line.
Right.
But yes, I agree with
He's
Zach.
trying to create, foster a. I mean, and he, in one way, he was successful in the fact that when she sees him,
She
in
will
the
always
apartment
think.
complex, she will think this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, well, he's definitely left an indelible mark.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
No.
Yeah, and that's hilarious. I've heard worse. That's all I'm saying. And
Well, sure.
but that is very interesting. It also sounds very old man-y. That's why I was asking like what his age was
he wasn't
because
like an old retired guy where it was
Right.
like, oh, he's like just kind of old and
Yeah.
it's funny. He's like making a joke. I'm
Right.
like, that'd be one thing. This was not the vibe. Like,
right, because if you were like, oh, he definitely looked like over 60 or 65, then I just
Yeah.
go,
And
whatever.
she's like
It's
early
old
30s.
man.
I'm like,
It's-
that's kind of cute.
He's just
trying,
kind of
you
being
know?
an old man, whatever. You get a pass at a certain age. You're just kind of like, all right, your time was different. That was probably funny, back in the
He's
30s
trying to be cute
or something, whatever,
This was like.
But yeah, no, that just sounds like a guy who has no clue how
at
to
least he
talk to
doesn't
women.
have an accent. I was like, what the fuck?
Did the man have an accent?
No.
Like, was it? I was gonna say maybe it was a really clever like joke. Like
Dig it himself,
he
yeah.
is an Australian and
That-
like was
that'd
like
be funny.
that would be clever. Be like,
That
oh,
would be clever, yeah.
at least she doesn't have an accent, and you'd be like, oh, like
Was that your
hey.
Australian?
Yeah.
It was a very subtle Australian. I didn't want to go like full like let's put another shrimp on the bob, like that kind of bullshit. But yeah, I was very subtle. I was
But
subtle.
yeah, the fact
Australian.
that was the line that he came up with, I was like, yeah, bud.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounds to me like a guy. Yeah, he was trying to be funny, kind of clever, kind of open up a conversation, and it
you know
just
what?
didn't work.
We're talking about it, so I'm
Hey, clearly we
It
want a
stuck with
relationship with
me.
this guy. Maybe he should join our club.
stuck with me. That's,
Maybe we should
the,
start
the
a
club of
non-accents club.
Oh, I was thinking like the club of gathering bigamous pickup lines.
Wait. I will say,
Pickup lines only.
to be fair, I jumped the shark. Thank you. I jumped the shark a bit, jumping to the fact that he was like a bigamist. I don't really think he is.
No,
Based on him, he just sounds dumb.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
But I'm just saying, like maybe he just, the low IQ club, maybe
The low IQ
or the men who
Why
don't
do we
know how
wanna
to
be a part of this.
or maybe
it's the Loic. LOWIQ. It's the Loic.
yeah, the
Yeah.
low IQ club.
And Cameron will bring you in just
Yeah,
because we
I was
like
gonna say
you.
I could see people like you'd call it a lick, but it has nothing to do with
the
that.
Lick Club. I don't.
Well,
like
because it'd
how
be
that sounds.
LIQC, right? So like it'd be
there you
like
go.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you saw where I was going. Anyway, either that or just the men who can't talk to women club, which I think there are clubs for that actually.
Probably.
I mean, there should be.
and there should be.
Except usually men who can't talk to women are
I think
loners. So
That's kind of true. Well, no, actually, I don't know.
I think that's just
I've
called
worked.
the gamer sphere.
I've also met
Metaverse.
older. There's clubs of older guys who are also the
Yeah,
same
it's called
way.
cigar clubs.
Wow. All right. That's a shot right there. Okay. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. I'm not in
Just
a
a
cigar
little bit.
club.
I wasn't calling you out.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
I was just saying.
Just I'm the
You
one
weren't
here with
calling
the
him out,
most
but he's
potential.
gonna call
I'm
himself
just
out.
saying I'm saying I'm the one with the most potential to join a
I
cigar
was just
club.
talking
that's all.
about cigar clubs.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Just in general.
Okay.
Like you aren't. It's
Yeah.
not about you, Dallas.
It's
Oh,
not
okay.
always about you.
I thought it's all about me. That's why we, this is the Dallas Club. That's
The-
what
the- I'm not buying that.
I'm renaming Freeform to.
Yeah, no, that pun brought to you by the Oscars, actually.
hurt.
Wow. Yeah. That's
Pain.
That was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
This is so sad.
I just didn't. Yeah. This is so sad. I didn't even know how to react to that, but it was clever. It was clever. but sad. Anyway, Cameron, do you have any more like thrilling? Oh, his joke about Dallas Buyers Club. Oh,
He said the Dallas Club. I said I'm not buying it.
yeah.
Dallas.
Oh,
It's okay, man. Don't worry.
It's all good. If you haven't seen the movie, I could see how you wouldn't. Yeah, it's fine. Anyway,
it was a good one though.
it's very good, but it's
Matthew McConaughey.
yeah, it's sad.
It's,
Anyway,
it's good in that the performance is good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the performance is great, but the story is really
The
sad. Anyway,
story is
I was going to say,
tear-jerking.
do you have, speaking of sad stories or just good stories, do you have any good news stories from your job? Any interesting people?
Yeah.
You say that so depressed.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't really know if I want to talk about work quite yet. Because
Oh,
okay.
I'm still pretty new.
Okay,
I'm
all
still
right. Yeah, no
learning
worries.
stuff.
No worries. We haven't seen you in a while. Do you have any just other
Really?
stories of your life? that
So
have
I'll
happened?
tell you about this antibiotic I just got to give for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Sounds interesting.
it's called Bicillin. It's pretty cool. It's like cottage cheese, bro.
Ugh, wait.
Okay.
It's like a vial,
Like you-
4 milliliters.
Yeah.
It's
It looks like
pull it out of the fridge.
yeah.
It's cold. It looks like cottage cheese, and it sounds like cottage cheese a little bit.
Wait. What do you mean it sounds like cottage
Like
cheese?
it's
Everybody
it has
knows
a
what
squelch.
cottage cheese sounds
Yeah.
like.
It has a
Makes it-
squelch when you
Like
Oh.
like
Wait. So you like inject
injecting this into
people?
somebody's body.
yeah, it's an antibiotic.
That's disgusting.
How?
Dope ass.
Do you have to like dilute it first?
Nope.
You inject cottage cheese into people's bodies. What is wrong with the medical system? What is happening?
That's
Medical science has gone downhill
I mean,
fast.
Yeah, it was a shocker for me. I was
Wow.
like- and it's
And you're
I mean,
injecting
dude,
like a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
4 milliliters.
Where are you? Are you injecting this in the arm and the
No,
butt?
you're doing this in the hip.
Oh,
So-
in the hip. Gotcha.
in the- actually, your glute. It's technically your
Dang.
glute, but I call it the hip all the time. But yeah, it's a nice, good sized muscle. You know, so
Right. So good. Like,
it's the best place to
Yeah.
do it. There's really no good place to do it, but best place to
jeez,
go.
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, I was a little shocked.
What is like? What did they say the sensation is like getting injected with something like thick and goopy like
I
that?
didn't ask, but I'm sure it hurt.
I didn't. Ask.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to know.
Thanks for letting me shoot you in the ass. How did that feel? You know, can we describe it?
Not many situations where you can
Was
ask
there a
that question.
tingling sensation? No, I was
feel
just
like needles
Wow,
all-
you rocked that. I
Wow.
figured you'd be crying, but nope.
What was this person suffering from that they needed this type of a shot?
I can't say. But
Oh, okay.
You know, it's an antibiotic.
Gotcha.
We give out antibiotics pretty
So is this like a general antibiotic then, or are you only in special cases you'd get the cottage cheese? I'm so
Or
curious.
is this
I mean,
just the
it's a
first time
pretty-
you've used the
Yeah.
cottage cheese?
Yeah, it was more like my first time, and it was just pretty cool. It was kind of shocking.
Mm.
You know, some of the other meds we use are, you know, like one in particular. I remember it's a steroid we use. Like you have to shake it up a little bit, and
Yeah.
it separates pretty fast and pretty obvious. It separates.
Right.
Then you know, there's another that we have to reconstitute, which is adding sterile water to it. So you got a vial of powder, put some water in it. It goes from like white clay, like sticky white clay,
Uh-huh.
to milky yellow, to almost like clear, no, like perfectly
Just
clear,
clear.
just the slightest tint of yellow. It's really cool.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like chemical reactions. That's fun.
Especially when you get to inject them
Yeah, yeah.
people
Yeah,
right after.
You're like, what's this shit? And you just shake it up. You're like, well, this is going in you. Have fun.
I'm glad it's you, not me.
Jeez. Dude, that sounds interesting. Your job is very interesting.
It's fun.
Yeah. Anything else going on? Like in your life in general? Anything else new? No?
No,
No?
not too much. I got a clean place for a little while. We'll see how long that lasts.
You've cleaned up your place?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that this has been a struggle for you in the past, so that's awesome.
I'm not organized by any way. Like I hate cleaning, but I have to have a clean place at least a little while. So all my shit's put away. I swept a while ago. Clean, so, you know,
Dope, man. That's cool. Good on you for doing that.
trying to get into a good routine of things and start working out. I'm excited for 2022, guys.
Yeah? That's
This is gonna
good.
be a fun year.
That's good, man. I'm looking forward to it as well. You know, I got a few big transitions coming up myself. I'm moving and switching jobs here at the beginning of February. So a lot of big stuff. Also trying to get back to a good routine of exercise. That's probably the hardest one, but
I just want to start small, like some stretching, basic like crunches, crap like that.
There you go.
Dude, always start with a small attainable goal. And I even, just from my own personal experience, I would even say something that you could do daily, like even if it's literally just like 5 minutes, right? Just like a few push-ups, sit-ups, just a routine that you could do probably almost every day, and then maybe like take the weekends off. And then that way you're still doing something every day. And just like learning, the guitar or a new language or whatever, it's better to do 5 minutes of it every day than it is to do like, oh, I worked out for like an hour, like on the weekend.
And then,
but that was it.
3 weeks later.
Yeah, exactly. So, dude, that's a great way to do it. Just small, attainable goals. And that's more likely that you'll stick with it and you'll keep building on it too. So that's great.
Just building new habits.
Yeah.
Let's see what this year is. Oh, I got me a buddy of mine gave me his motorcycle helmet and his old jacket. I'm hoping to get my license soon.
You're like, I have the, pieces that go, with it. I will say, dude.
Got the outfit. I just not.
Well, you still need
all dressed up.
You still need gloves.
Yeah.
You're still gonna need gloves.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming you have like a boot or something you could wear. Something that covers your ankle is really mainly what you need. And then jeans are usually pretty decent. But that's all you'll need to go and take like a course.
Yeah, the Harley.
Yeah, you go take that one, dude. That's a good one. I took it. It's great. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. And you also, by taking that, you also don't have to do your driver
for the DMV.
Which is notoriously hard. It's like way harder than anything else because the way that they do it is still really old school. So they'll have you like go in between cones and just a bunch of stuff that's like way more difficult. I've known guys who've they had their licenses for years and they're like, yeah, the DMV test is super hard. So going through them is definitely worth it.
Easy.
Yeah. And then you'll just have to take the written test and then you'll be done. And then
we'll be taking bike trips or something.
Dude, I'd be down, man. Yeah. I'm trying to, yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't even bring this up. Yeah. My car, starter went out on Monday. So
nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So luckily I have a motorcycle on the side, but, yeah, my car's just been sitting there. My dad came over and I kind of knew this was happening for like months because like back in September it would like go out. It like wouldn't start, I'd have issues starting but then it would start and then I'd be like, okay, well,
right.
I guess it's okay for another day, type of thing.
Yep.
And it only happened like once a month or something. So it wasn't happening all the time.
Sure.
So it finally went out. My dad confirmed it, this week. And then I called up a shop and the next availability for them to work on it is next Thursday. So I just have to wait till then. Luckily I have my motorcycle. It's a little chilly, but luckily it's been a little warmer like you guys were saying. So it's actually not been too bad. It's been pretty nice.
That's good.
But of course I had to go out on the 1 week when, my girlfriend went out of town. And so I was watching her mom's, pets at her house. And so I had to go there like early in the morning and like later in the evening too, like every day. And I was like, of course this happens like this week. Like, cause normally, I work from home and stuff. I barely have to leave my house ever. But yeah, it's been fun. But my bike is just old and, it's a small motor. It's a 400 cc. So, I just need a bigger, newer bike and we'll see. That may happen sooner than later. We'll see.
After you get all settled into the new place.
Yeah, no, of course. Like that's going to be the first thing.
Right.
And then, maybe come around, March or April, which would be the perfect time to get it, springtime. But yeah, we'll see. And if you're listening, you won't see. You'll only hear.
I'll also put the bike out front and rev it for you.
I'll just rev it so you guys can hear it.
So you can hear it.
And then I'll let you guess what type of bike it is. Yeah, no, I'll bring it in my house.
Yeah.
And I'll just lay on the throttle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just don't shut the door. This will turn into
we'll all die of carbon monoxide. It'd be great. It'd be the greatest episode ever. Just silence for an hour and a half.
Just the sound of the
motorcycle, and then the sound of 4 thuds, and then silence. For the rest.
No, not the sounds forever.
Yeah, Dallas. It'll just be 3 thuds. Gabby's already on the floor.
Oh, that's true. Well, we'll have to see my new setup at my house. I mean, obviously
she'll live the longest, Gabby.
She'll still be able to sit on the floor.
Good.
But we'll just have to see how my place, because I'll have more room, obviously. So like 300
Buy me
extra
a beanbag.
square feet. Well, actually, I might be getting myself a really nice beanbag, so we'll see. But that'll be a while
For me.
for me. Maybe I'll buy you one from Walmart or something. Like, yeah, get you like one of those kids ones.
Yeah. At Target, they have ones that look like dinosaurs.
What I don't understand, like, I mean, beanbags can be any shape, but like, why would they ever put a shape to them? Like, why not just keep them round?
Because the best beanbag chair I've ever seen is shaped like a treasure chest.
Really?
But it's a mimic. So when you sit down on it, the back pop, like the cushion comes off the top, and it's the mouth of a mimic.
Oh, so it's gonna like eat
It's
you.
a very nerd beanbag, but it looks so much like a
Dark Souls.
Yeah, it looks so much like a treasure chest.
That's cool.
Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Why not? It's a beanbag.
That's cool. Well, that sounds like some thought has been put into
why
that.
would you just have
Well, it depends on what it is.
blue
and, like,
blob on your...
Yeah, no, I agree, especially if they're like just the regular cheap
If you're going to
ones.
go in for a beanbag, go in for a beanbag.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, I think they're called love sacks.
Well, that's...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're huge.
Slightly
They're huge.
suggestive.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it is. I mean, it's... Anyway, yeah. Yes, it's suggestive, but it's also like, it's not gross. It's like, if you go...
gross.
If you go on the website, it's like it's a furniture company. I think it's actually called Love Sack.
It
like,
is.
And anyway, they just have like a giant. My buddy has one. It's a giant beanbag that like even I could sit on. Right, I'm a pretty large person, and so it's just like I could sit on it with like another person, and they wouldn't. We wouldn't be like eaten up. Like it wouldn't collapse, and it would be comfortable. And I've ever since I saw my buddy with it, I've just always been like, man, I really want one of those. They're just so cool because I always liked beanbags.
I want to sit on a cloud.
Yeah, kind of. It's what it's like. It's huge, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the size of that love seat right there, right? But and big and thick, so like you would still be at about the same height that you're sitting now. They're kind of unbelievable. Like whatever the filler is like really quality stuff. So it's soft, but it still holds its like. Its size and all that, so it doesn't just collapse like the old beanbags do.
Right.
It's incredible, and I've wanted one for a really long time. So one of these days, that's also on the list. So.
Deluxe beanbag chair.
Yeah, but motorcycles definitely new motorcycles on
Deluxe
the higher
love sack.
Deluxe love sack. Yes, yes. No,
XXXL.
I mean, like I said, it's suggestive, but it's not gross. It's
got some class.
Yeah. It's like calling it a love seat. It's the same idea. That's why they have the idea. It's a love seat, but this is a love. It's literally a sack. It's just
Yeah.
Cat Williams has a great interpretation of love seats and couches.
Yeah, he does.
You can't even sit in the shade of finding in love.
Oh yeah.
How shit is that?
You can't even
This
sit
is
on
the couch.
Yeah. That's true, man. See, that's why everyone loves a couch. Anyone can sit on a couch. What's fun about the word couch? And I don't know if the etymology is from this, but I've been studying French. And couche, which is spelled Couch, and usually with an E after it, depending on how you're. Anyway, I'm getting all nerdy. The point is,
which time frame of French you're talking about, right?
Right, but it means to go to bed, couche, right? And so
to lay to bed, yeah.
Yeah. And so couch, I'm assuming we got that the word we have for couch is from that because it just makes so much sense.
Well, so the original couches didn't have backing or arms.
Were they like those
They were things you laid down on
like
and ate your food.
Really?
Yeah.
You laid down and ate your food.
You'd lay on your side
Yeah.
and you'd have food out in front of you and you'd eat.
So is it kind of like
Using my bed wrong.
I mean,
there are many people who eat in bed.
Well,
let us know if you eat in bed.
That's why part of the etymology is to lay. It's laying. It's not just going to sleep or going to bed.
Well,
it's
no.
Laying.
So I was going to say the modern interpretation is to go to bed, but it's not to go to sleep.
Right.
It's just to go and basically rest.
To go to
essentially.
lay.
Yeah,
you lay.
Yeah, lay out.
Yeah.
But the image you're putting in my brain with that kind of a thing, it kind of makes me think of like what you'd lay down when you're talking to a therapist, or like a Bacchus, type of thing where he's like laying and eating the grapes, type of thing. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like the Romans utilized couches to eat. That is what they used.
That's like ultimate decadence, isn't it? Just eating in bed all the time.
To lay down and eat, I guess is
it's like
more of a thing of being rich than
right, and that's kind of
eat.
And it's kind of what I mean when I'm saying like decadence, and like because most of the time, like in nature, when a person or an animal is eating, you're at one of your most vulnerable points, right? So it's like if you can sprawl out and just be super relaxed while also eating, it's like the ultimate luxury, right? You'd be like
you've conquered survival,
right? You're clearly at like the top of your food chain or whatever, right? That's just interesting. Of course, the Romans would come up with that.
I don't know if they came up with it. If they didn't come up with it, I'm sure they assimilated it. So, well, I mean, Rome. The reason the Romans
actually they really are the Borg.
Yeah,
actually.
The reason they grew is they just went and like
they said you can do whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you're doing.
Pay us taxes.
Right. We just want your money.
Yeah, and we're gonna plant a few soldiers around here.
Yeah. Like, oh, you have customs? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe we'll like them.
Yeah. We'll let you keep doing them. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep giving us money.
And if we like what you do, we'll just take it and make it ours.
Make it ours as well. Yeah.
They were the first Americans.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. And what an American thing to say that they were the first Americans. Oh yeah, well they were just the first Americans.
The first Americans.
Of course, but they were still Americans.
I mean,
so is that what "Make America Great Again" means?
Make
us Romans again.
Make us Romans again. Let's go back to. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. Great times. Okay. Any closing thoughts?
What dog have you met that has an accent?
That's a great question.
I'm trying to think.
A German Shepherd. I've met a German Shepherd that only obeyed if you talk to it in German.
The dog doesn't have an accent, though, Tim.
Well, the dog does because it only responds to one accent.
So I swear that I've ran into dogs that
does that.
What?
Yeah.
If I listen to somebody talk in an English accent and do what they say, does that mean I have an accent now?
Well, everyone has an accent.
Okay.
I just mean in America.
I know, I understand. I'm just letting people know.
A barking dog, especially like a German Shepherd or any kind of Shepherd that barks, if it doesn't sound like German to you, I don't know what will.
I get what you're saying. I swear I've heard foreign dogs where they're barking, maybe they're what is the word I'm trying to look for? Is it undulation? It's like, or like the cadence of their bark.
Intonation.
Thank you, Gabby. That's exactly what I was looking for. The intonation of their bark is different than like other dogs that I've heard. Right.
Sure.
So I guess if you want to call that an accent, maybe
it's as close as we can get.
Yeah, it's about as close. Because I was going to say, because they don't speak the language, so just I guess if they have a different intonation to their bark, I guess that would be
an accent.
Yeah. All right. We just settled all the world's problems.
We have now given definition to dog accents.
Yes. Dog accents are now a thing.
Real work done in this forum.
Yes. I want to see trending Google, over the years, you can look up and see when words, see when words were popular.
Right.
I want to see Google market like this day on the calendar, like this is when dog accents started becoming popular.
Yep. It became a thing. We started asking the real question.
I'm just saying, man, these are important questions that no one else is paying attention to.
Right.
And you're going to get this every time you listen to this podcast. So you should keep listening, because we're going to talk about the really important things every episode.
The groundbreaking, world-altering
stuff that no one else is talking about.
That's right.
Stuff that, every large news corporation just missing, whoosh, just straight over their head. If you want to keep hearing groundbreaking, good quality stuff, keep listening in. With that, I think we're going to sign out. If you are listening on YouTube, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We would love that.
Hit the little bell, too.
hit the bell if you like. We only post once a week, so you're not going to be hit with a bunch of crazy, just bell notifications for nothing.
But everybody says hit the bell, so we're going to say it too.
I guess, yeah, we'll say hit the bell too. But so just so that way you don't miss out. But we usually post every week, Wednesdays on YouTube, Monday on every other podcast forum. Listen in wherever you like. We're on everything. We're totally accessible. Tweet at us. Our Twitter is in every post. Hit us up, see what we're up to. Share with us if you got any cool ideas. We'd love to interact with our listeners. Do you got any closing words, Cameron?
Yeah.
He starts with what he stops with what he started with. Anyway, well, that being said, this has been the Freeform Podcast. Thank you for listening. It has been with me, Dallas, Zach, Gabby, Tim, and we luckily got Cameron back again. In this podcast, there were no dogs harmed in the making.
No dogs.
No.
I will never harm dogs. I may harm their owners, but never dogs.
You ever seen when dogs go on trampolines?
Yeah.
Trampolines.
Yeah.